Welcome to another Wednesday of Upstate Wrestling. This is UWF, and I'm your commentator speaking, Upstate Remy. We have a packed card here today, 6 matches. Let's get right into them all. First match up, we have Satoshi Kasamatsu versus Brooke Wilson in the Television Championship Tournament. Then next up after that, we have Chel Gonzalez and Jack Taylor singles action here tonight. Then after that, of course, we have Diana Holmes, Taryn Breeze, Ivy Thorne, Killowick tag team action. Taryn Breeze's debut tonight. Taylor King, Brian Reynolds in Television Championship Tournament action after that. And then for the pre-main event, Yuri Stevens, Martina Richards, and Martina Richards, Millie Richards' debut. Hell Cerberus, Golden Generation in the tag team tournament. But first up, Satoshi Kasamatsu versus Brooke Wilson. This is the first round of the television tournament. Continued. Of course, last week we had Kai Cash defeating Haruki Ishida, and then we had Pierre Chamberlain defeating Adonis Blade, and now we have Satoshi Kasamatsu. And then later on tonight, of course, we have Brian Reynolds versus Taylor King for this tournament. But up first, Satoshi Kasamatsu, of course, a few weeks back, with the help of Matthew Black, he actually defeated AD Harris, who is the now new television champion. So Kasamatsu, he thinks that he deserves a shot at the championship, even though he got help, even though AD Harris wasn't 100% in that full match. I mean, maybe he's right, maybe he does deserve the shot, but he has to get through a few people. And the first one up first is Brooke Wilson. Brooke Wilson, of course, eager, hungry to get into the championship picture of any kind. And just like that, his opponent, too fatal, Brooke Wilson. And like I was saying, Brooke Wilson, hungry, eager to get into a title picture, but you have to work. You have to put your time, blood, sweat, tears, you have to work for it. And that is what he is looking to do today. I mean, Satoshi Kasamatsu, he has also been a little vocal, saying how he deserves it after defeating AD Harris. Now, at the time when Satoshi Kasamatsu defeated AD Harris was not the champion. He was the #1 contender for the television championship because he won the 8-man battle royal over a month ago, but he was not the champion yet. But now, AD Harris is the champion, and he is definitely looking on to see who is up next for his television championship. Of course, as of late, AD Harris has been looking at other things apart from this championship. Of course, his team, the Golden Generation, the Catcher and the Rye Lull, Levi Fox, they are in tag team action later tonight for the main event versus Hell Cerberus, Brutus and Julius Creed, to see who will go versus the Diamond Wolves next week to go to the finals of the tag team tournament. But here we go, Satoshi Kasamatsu right there on your screen. Then we have Brooke Wilson on the other side of the ring. They ring that bell, and the bell is off, the ref ringing the bell there, and we got Brooke Wilson with the purple, the 2 fatal on his backside, the 2F on his arm, the yin and yang on his back. Brooke Wilson. Then we have Satoshi Kasamatsu in the black and white, the neckbreaker by Brooke Wilson. Now, Brooke Wilson, he's been a little vocal the past few weeks. Of course, he's been kind of making it known that last year in TWF, he beat a few notable names. Of course, he wanted a title opportunity. He deserved it back then. But let me just make this known. This is a new era. This is a new company. Yes, I do understand that, yeah, some ex-TWF champions are getting their title shots. Yes, sure. But they were champions. They get that right. You worked your way up to a title shot. You didn't exactly get it before the doors closed, but you're getting that opportunity now. Show up or show out. Brooke Wilson, you have the potential to win this tournament. I believe in you. Now, Satoshi Kasamatsu, he's also determined, of course, beating AD Harris, who was not the champion at the time, and Matthew Black did kind of interrupt that match, making Kasamatsu win, but besides the point. Satoshi Kasamatsu has a bag like no other. Brooke Wilson also has the potential, the determination to win this thing And look at Satoshi Kasamatsu landing Brooke Wilson on his face around the top turnbuckle. Now look at Brooke Wilson back in the action with that face plant. No, looking like a little arm drag, but no arms involved. And look at Brooke Wilson with these combos and the poison rana from Brooke Wilson. Brooke Wilson too fatal himself, bringing it all to Kasamatsu in the corner now. Brooke Wilson looking like a body slam, planting him right where he wants him, going up to the middle rope, calling Satoshi Kasamatsu to his feet, and the double knees right down to the face of Satoshi Kasamatsu, sorry. And now look at this in the corner. Look at Brooke Wilson in the corner, and no! Kasamatsu pushing him off in somehow, some way. Brooke Wilson's busted open, and look at Kasamatsu! The Michinoku driver for the cover. That could do it. And no, kick out from Brooke Wilson. What a kick out. Now look at Satoshi Kasamatsu up top now. Double foot stomp. The coup de grace for the cover. Could end it right there. No, what a kick out from Brooke Wilson. I mean, the desperate kick out. Brooke Wilson is not looking too good in this one. Of course, the kick that Brooke Wilson did, he calls it the memory crash if I'm not mistaken. So I'll get that right for next time. And look at this. Satoshi Kasamatsu. What are we looking at? Satoshi, vertical suplex position. No, hanging on the top rope there. And running knee right to the side of the face. And look at Satoshi Kasamatsu calling his shot. Looking to put Brooke Wilson to sleep. But no, Brooke Wilson catching the foot there. And now with the head of Satoshi Kasamatsu in the corner. Running full speed ahead. No, blocking that kick. Kasamatsu and Brooke Wilson punch to the back of the head and a drop kick. No, moving out of the way. Look at this back and forth action and kick to the back. Going back up top. Satoshi Kasamatsu up top. Coup de grace once again. That one a little weaker, but it's still hit nonetheless. And Brooke Wilson, wise move, rolling out of the ring to avoid a pinfall. But look at Satoshi Kasamatsu. Fired up on all cylinders. He is unbelievable in this matchup. And look at Brooke Wilson. Oh my, what an uppercut. And thus, oh my, what a discus boot by Brooke Wilson. What a boot. Knocking the daylights out of him. The knee drop down to the face of Kasamatsu. Now look at Brooke Wilson calling his opponent to his feet. Went for the knee strike. Went for the running knee, but couldn't get it. And now look at Kasamatsu with the go to sleep. You might as well call it there. You might as well count to 20, 30, 40, 50. Brooke Wilson is knocked the fuck out. If I'm not mistaken, that's how Satoshi Kasamatsu beat A.D. Harris. I could be wrong. I have a bad memory. But for the cover, and Satoshi Kasamatsu advances in the television tournament. Congratulations. Satoshi Kasamatsu will go up against Taylor King or Brian Reynolds at a later date. What a win for Satoshi Kasamatsu. What a match for both men, for Brooke Wilson. This was a great match. Now all that this man has to do is keep going. Don't take your foot off the gas. Keep going. It's all gas, no brakes. You know what I fucking mean. What a match. What a win for Satoshi Kasamatsu. It looks like we have Javon Evans with a microphone in hand. What does he have to say after last week when he saved Chosen from a beatdown from Brody Anderson with a chair? That was crazy. Let's see what the young OG has to say today. Did Javon just call out Brody Anderson? Did Javon just... Wait, wow. The lights are out. What's going... That's Brody Anderson! In the ring with Javon Evans! Javon just called Brody out, and look at this Brody! With a choke slam down to Javon Evans! Alright, next up, we have Chel Gonzalez versus Jack Taylor. Now, we just saw Brody Anderson chokeslam the living hell out of Javon Evans. The first week, at First Destination, we saw Brody attack Akira Tozawa. Then the next week later, we saw Chosen versus Brody, where Brody destroyed Chosen. And Javon, he actually came out and helped Chosen before getting a beatdown with a chair from Brody. And then Javon comes out and calls Brody out, and Brody chokeslams him. Brody, why can't you have a fair fight against Javon Evans? What is going to take for you to get in the ring with Javon with a fair one-on-one? I mean, to be fair, Javon did put his nose in where it doesn't belong. But that's the good heart about Javon Evans. Javon doesn't care who you are. He will help you if you see that you are in trouble. The young OG is here to fight, and he's here to whoop some ass. But next up, we have Chel Gonzalez, Puerto Rico's very own, versus Jack Taylor. Jack Taylor, a part of the Golden Generation. Later on, they have a match versus Hell Cerberus. But first up, Jack Taylor versus Chel Gonzalez. Chel Gonzalez has been having some issues with Mike Magna Maxwell as of late. Of course, Gonzalez here saying a few words. Mike Magna Maxwell responding last week. And now Chel Gonzalez is here. He is here in action. Right here in upstate New York. And Jack Taylor, part of Golden Generation, Jack Taylor, been making his name known in the past few months. I mean, Chel Gonzalez been making his name known all over the world the past few years. Jack Taylor, though, from my understanding, he's been making his name known in places like CMV, for example. Jack Taylor becoming a household name every day as we speak. Jack Taylor representing the Golden Generation, but as you see, there is nobody out here with him from the Golden Generation. They are all dealing with their own matches. Of course, A.D. Harris going to be out to the ring with Rilo and Levi Fox later for the main event. Jack Taylor got to do this on his own. I mean, I don't doubt that he could do this on his own. Jack Taylor is someone you don't want to mess with. The Golden Generation. Jack Taylor versus Chel Gonzalez. Chel Gonzalez in that corner. In the other corner, we have Jack Taylor. Here we go. These two are off. Locking up right in the middle of that ring. And look at Chel Gonzalez backing Jack Taylor down to the corner. And clean break from the two. But Chel Gonzalez getting a little right hook in there. Jack Taylor, though, defending himself with that boot to the face. And locking back up these two. Chel Gonzalez pushing Jack Taylor down. Jack Taylor with a right hook down to Chel Gonzalez. Now look at the Irish whip. And the flying forearm connects. And look at Jack Taylor sizing Gonzalez up. Going to the apron now in a roll through. A super kick from Chel Gonzalez. What a super kick out of nowhere. And swiping the man off his feet. Look at Gonzalez. He is incredible. Jack Taylor, you can say the same thing about him as well. And a pop-up hurricanrana. Jesus, the athleticism, the speed, the grit from Puerto Rico's very own Chel Gonzalez with a kick. Chel Gonzalez now. Oh my, what a splash. And that's Mike Magna Maxwell's music. And there he is walking down the ramp. Why did I know that this was going to happen? These two have been going at it for the last few weeks. They have not stepped in a ring yet in UWF. But look at Jack Taylor taking advantage with the roll-up. No way that could be it. That could do it. No. Mike Magna Maxwell just interrupting this match, distracting Chuck Gonzalez. Back elbow from Jack Taylor. Jack Taylor will take any advantage that he can get in this matchup. Who can blame him? Let's be honest. But that is not Mike Magnum Maxwell's right to get involved in this matchup. I mean, sure, they've been going back and forth with Chuck Gonzalez, but leave this match alone, okay? Maybe they'll get a match at some point. They deserve one versus each other. They've been at each other's throats through promos, through talking segments for the past few weeks. And look at this, just pushing the back down on that knee. Gonzalez back in the ring, and Jack Taylor caught him with an Irish whip to the ropes and dragon suplex for the cover. No, just a 1 count. Chuck Gonzalez still in this matchup. I mean, let's be honest. Oh my god, Jack Taylor, wait a second. Hold on, hold that thought. Hold that thought. And no, Chuck Gonzalez right hooks down to the face of Jack Taylor. Big boot. Chuck Gonzalez. Jack Taylor wisely rolling out of the ring, but back in the ring, and look at Jack Taylor. The punches, the combos, the fallaway slam from Jack Taylor. The strength, the determination of Jack Taylor. And a cave-in from Gonzalez. Back up top now. Wait a second, wait a second. Look at Chuck Gonzalez. Don't blink or you'll miss him. In a drop kick. Beautiful drop kick. Now setting up Jack Taylor. Chuck Gonzalez. Wait a second, wait a second. The Verta Breaker with the cover. For the cover, for the count. No. What a kickoff from Jack Taylor. What a match this is. Although Mike Magnum Maxwell getting involved definitely has a lot to do with this. This is a crazy matchup indeed. And look at this. Springboard kick, no. And now look at this. These mounted punches by Jack Taylor. Jack Taylor's been dying to get into a UWF ring for about a month now since this show became a thing. And now he's got it. And look at that. Spear tearing Jack Taylor right in half. And now, oh no, oh my god, just planting Jack Taylor's face into the canvas. And look at Gonzalez. Chuck Gonzalez back up top. And a big frog splash right down to and Jack Taylor. Real awareness on point, rolling out of the ring. Wise move, but and Jack Taylor kicked to the midsection. I mean, Jack Taylor one step ahead right there. And discus clothesline. What a lariat from Jack Taylor. And now, nope, swiping the man off his feet once again. Chuck Gonzalez is quick to it and is working on that hand. Stomp to the face there, a little face scrape. A little dirty, but, you know, the ref a little lenient in this one. Calling the man up to his feet. At a 5 count, the ref is. And look at this cave-in once again. Chuck Gonzalez is unbelievable with that cave-in maneuver. Going up top now. Wait a second, wait a second. Chuck Gonzalez calling Jack Taylor up to his feet. I think we're at an 8 count. And drop kick once again. But the ref restarting the count as Gonzalez went to the turnbuckle and went outside the ring once again. Look at Gonzalez. Look at Chuck Gonzalez with another Verta Breaker on the outside of the ring this time. That's gotta hurt, but that's also gotta do it. Chuck Gonzalez rolling the man back into the ring. Jack Taylor's back in the ring for the cover. Leg up for the cover for the count. And Chuck Gonzalez takes the win. What a win, what a match. What a win for Chuck Gonzalez, and what a match for both the men. Jack Taylor put up a hell of a fight. Of course, Mike Magnum Maxwell getting in the mix, but it is what it is. I mean, he didn't do anything illegal. He just came down the ramp. What can you really do? But Chuck Gonzalez definitely going to have some words to say about that, and I am dying to hear what his thoughts are. What a win for Chuck Gonzalez here tonight on this fantastic Wednesday.
Oh yeah! Hello!
I'm Anna Simmons, and this is Twisted Shock Energy Cherry. It has a twist of cherry flavor. This devilish elixir has twist of cherry.
Anna, it's not twist. It's twist of cherry. It's amazing smooth. Be smooth.
Twisted Shock Energy Cherry is amazingly smooth. trust me, I'm the rock star.
Hey there, Remy. You know, I thought about what you said, and I agree. We have to invest in the future stars of this company so that they may shine bright like they're meant to. Nothing wrong with that, right? Of course there isn't, even if achieving said future is at my expense. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for everyone getting what they quote-unquote deserve. But the second it turns into taking food off my plate, me and you have a big problem, Remy. I mean, after everything I've done for you, putting 2 companies on my back, giving every woman here a place where they belonged, and you can't even do something as simple as giving me a match? Are you fucking serious? I didn't know the future of UWF was a bunch of bozos who honestly are not even worth the paper their contract was printed with. But hey, there's nothing I can do about it. After all, your hands are tied, right? I'm joking. Not about the part of you guys being bozos, though. You people fucking suck. If we're being honest, a good 90% of you shouldn't have been hired. But let me get back on topic. It's like I said last week. Just as I built this place, brick by brick, I'm going to tear it down. Brick by fucking brick.
Now, rumor has it that promo was actually recorded a few weeks back, but later tonight we have Yuri Stevens versus a debuting Millie Richards. But without further ado, our next contest up, we have tag team action. And speaking about debuts, Taryn Breeze is here in UWF. The rumors are true. They are damn true. And she's teaming up with Diana Holmes, going up against Ivy Thorne and Carolyn Wick. Carolyn Wick, of course, a part of the Golden Generation. But Taryn Breeze debuting here in UWF in tag team action. I am very excited to see how she does in her first match here in upstate New York. This is going to be a crazy matchup, tag team action, up next. And her tag team partner, this is Diana Holmes. Now, a few weeks back, there was a gauntlet match with technically 6 women because Yuri Stevens, she called herself up and was the 6th participant. But Diana Holmes was the first or second woman in that gauntlet match, and she lasted a few women. She was the Iron Woman of that gauntlet match, and if you don't remember, Ivy Thorne was the woman that eliminated Diana Holmes in that gauntlet match. So this could be technically a revenge match for Diana Holmes, getting back at Ivy Thorne. We'll see, but Diana Holmes is ruthless. We saw how she did in that gauntlet match, and she was absolutely ballistic. She was bleeding. She was out of breath. She was out of stamina. She was sweating. She had tears come down her face by the end of her getting eliminated. She was absolutely insane, and she deserves more opportunities like that. As a commentator, as someone that's not biased with these superstars, I think she deserves more opportunities like that gauntlet match. She could absolutely put on a show, and I'm sure, I don't doubt it for a second, that's what she will do here today. She's gonna put on a show with Taryn Breeze by her side. So Diana Holmes, put on a fucking show. Like I said a few weeks back in that gauntlet match, I think it was either during the gauntlet or after, I think she deserves to be in the hardcore division after that performance in the gauntlet. But up next, their opponents. First up, we have Carolyn Wick, of course, a part of the Golden Generation. And there they are. On the left is Carolyn Wick. Right next to her is A.D. Harris. Next to him, Levi Fox. And on the far right is Rilo. Levi Fox and Rilo on the right side of the group. They will be fighting later on in the main event in the tag team tournament. But first and foremost, they are here in support, in aid of Carolyn Wick and, of course, A.D. Harris with that television championship around his waist. He has been looking on in the television tournament to see who he will face at a later date. But they are here in support of one person only, and that is Carolyn Wick and, of course, Ivy Thorne. But that's her partner for today. This is an impromptu tag team match. Of course, Diana Holmes and Taryn Breeze, they are a tag team in other places. And they said, hey, Ivy, go find yourself a tag team partner. And I guess Carolyn Wick stepped up, or she was called up to this match. And there she is, Ivy Thorne. Ivy Thorne being the one who had to find a tag team partner for this matchup. And Carolyn Wick is, I guess, the mystery partner. I mean, Ivy Thorne didn't pick her. She was just hand selected from a few other women in the locker room. So Carolyn Wick, Ivy Thorne looking to get the job done tonight versus Taryn Breeze and Diana Holmes. I hope I'm saying Taryn Breeze correctly. I was either thinking of Taryn or Taryn. I think it's Taryn sounds better, I'll be honest. But there's Ivy Thorne. She eliminated Diana Holmes a few weeks back in that gauntlet match. I bet Ivy feels good after that. But of course, then getting eliminated by Cameron Blade. And then Yuri Stevens coming in as the 6th participant in eliminating Cameron Blade. But let's get this match underway. We'll start out with Taryn Breeze and Carolyn Wick. And this match is underway. And look at Taryn Breeze's height, by the way. She is not as short as some other women in this company. She's one of the taller women amongst a lot of the women talent. Now a little tag. Some tag team action right off the bat with Diana Holmes and a big boot right to Carolyn Wick's face. Now Diana Holmes with the splash, but Carolyn Wick knees up in time. And now drop kick. Not knocking her down though, but the roll up to follow up, looking to get an easy, sweet win, but no. Diana Holmes kicking out before the 1 count. Look at these chops now. Another one, no. Blocked that one with the right hook of her own. Diana Holmes back in the corner with Carolyn Wick. Went for the tag, but couldn't get it off. And look at Carolyn Wick now. These chops. Diana Holmes. Discus lariat not connecting. Waistlock applied by Carolyn. Back in the corner. And with Ivy Thorne. Tag to Ivy Thorne. Ivy Thorne, one of the bigger opponents. I mean, like I said, Taryn Breeze, definitely a bigger woman in the division. But knee strike from Ivy Thorne. Ivy Thorne can give her a run for her money, that's for sure. Those two are probably similar in height, if not the same height. But look at this, by the way. Ivy Thorne, Diana Holmes stepping toe-to-toe like they did a few weeks back in that gauntlet when Ivy Thorne eliminated Diana Holmes after a fantastic run in that gauntlet match. Eliminating, 2 women, I think? Which is crazy. Getting past 1 is good. Getting past 2 is incredible. And look at Diana holding her own. But look at Ivy Thorne back at her. And no, ducking that kick. Diana Holmes tossing Ivy to the ropes. Has her, no. Ivy Thorne now. Those right hands down to Diana. Trying to open her skull, it looks like. Like she was bleeding a few weeks back. And look at Diana fighting back, getting out of that corner. Wise move. Waistlock applied from Diana. But no, Ivy Thorne. Elbow up in time. Now, Irish whip. Sending her to the ropes. No, bumping right off of Ivy. Oh my god! That running back elbow. Ivy like a freight train. Right to Diana. And look at Diana's in trouble. Working on that arm of Diana now. And Ivy going for another knee strike perhaps. No! Caught the foot. With an Irish whip into the corner. Diana went for her attack to Taryn Breeze again, but couldn't get it. And now the waist lock. These two are going back and forth like these two know each other very, very well. Back in the corner now, Diana. Can she get a tag? She can. Taryn Breeze back in the match. Look at this. Suplex. Drop kick. That is not easy to pick up a woman like Ivy Thorne. Let me tell you that. And look at this. Look at Rilo getting involved, distracting Taryn Breeze, and Ivy Thorne looking to take advantage of that and bumping right off of her again. Little miscommunication between the two. Now the combos, the forearm from Ivy Thorne. Look at Ivy kicked to the midsection by Taryn Breeze. Taryn Breeze, Irish whip. Has her, no, clothesline from Ivy Thorne. Ivy Thorne calling every move. Always one step ahead of the opposition. Ivy sending Taryn back into the corner. And look at this. Oh my god, the sound of that chop. Echoing around the arena, but a kick from Taryn Breeze. And now look at Ivy trying to go for a hot tag, but couldn't get it. Taryn Bree stopping her in her tracks like a deer in headlights. And now Ivy Thorne, no! Taryn Breeze catching her off guard. Go for that springboard, but Taryn Breeze going for the tag to Diana Holmes back in the match. I mean, keeping the tags fresh, it's always a smart move in tag team action. And look at Diana Holmes calling Ivy Thorne to her feet. Going for the springboard, buckshot lariat. Going for the cover, Diana Holmes. Wait a second, no. Kick out from Ivy Thorne. Diana Holmes has Ivy right where she wants her. Brain buster. Right down to Diana. Diana going for the hot tag and Diana. Sorry, Ivy going for the hot tag. Diana tag to Taryn Breeze. Sorry, I'm getting my words mixed up. And Taryn went for the leg drop to stop Ivy, but got the tag to Carolyn, my bad. And now look at this. Go for the chops and the forearm connects and no! And the super kick from Taryn Breeze. Carolyn Wick went for the Wick Dipper, but couldn't get it. And then Taryn Breeze going for the super kick, and look at Taryn. Uh-oh, what's this? Going for a submission of some kind. Looking like the sharpshooter. Taryn Breeze has it locked in. But Carolyn Wick setting herself free from that sharpshooter. Carolyn Wick with Taryn Breeze in the corner. Tag to Ivy Thorne. Keeping these tags fresh. That's what we like to see. The double shoulder block from the two. Ivy Thorne and Carolyn Wick looking okay as a tag team. I mean, oh my god, black mass! Ivy Thorne with the black mass. And she's going to work to the corner and take off the turnbuckle padding. Taryn Breeze, though, sending Ivy into the corner with Diana Holmes. Going for the tag, but couldn't get it. Ivy Thorne, waistlock applied, has her up. And what a bomb of some sort. What a power bomb. Looking like a Blue Thunder bomb for a second. And now, tag to Diana Holmes. Ivy Thorne went for a tag, but couldn't get it. And look at Diana Holmes. Gestures of judgment for the cover on Ivy Thorne. Broken up by Carolyn Wick. Carolyn Wick saving this matchup. Taryn Breeze back on the apron. And the ref fixing the turnbuckle padding. That was taken down by Carolyn Wick. And Ivy Thorne with that spinning roundhouse. Going for the cover, but look at the ref. Ivy Thorne and Carolyn Wick, a little miscommunication. Not really looking too good for them. I mean, Carolyn Wick, if I'm not mistaken, was the one that took off the turnbuckle padding. And Ivy Thorne going for the cover. I mean, it's not looking too good. And look at the strength of Diana Holmes. That kip-up combination. Diana tagged back to Taryn Breeze. Taryn Breeze, Diana are working very well together. Let's give them that. But they have been a tag team other places, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, not surprised by that. And look at Ivy Thorne not going for the tag. I mean, I think she might be a little frustrated from Carolyn Wick. And Taryn Breeze running right into that post. But, oh my, what a right hook from Ivy. And another one, but Taryn Breeze back at her. That forearm back in the ring now. But Ivy caught her. Taryn Breeze, those elbows to the midsection. And look at this. Taryn Breeze slowing down the pace with the forearm to the back of the neck. Taryn Breeze, unbelievable in this matchup so far. Tag to Diana Holmes. And Ivy Thorne consulting with the Golden Generation, it looks like. Trying to think of a game plan. Back on the apron. Going around now, going around there. And look at this. Oh, my left hook. Ivy Thorne playing some mind games with Diana. In a chop to the chest of Diana. That's gotta hurt. And look at Diana now. Another kick to the face. Diana Holmes going to the apron. Calling Ivy right to her feet. Ivy is in trouble. Another, no! Went for the buckshot Larry again, but Ivy. And look at, float over. Liger bomb from Diana Holmes. Diana Holmes. What's this? Working on the arm now. Just wrenching it back. Oh my god. Diana Holmes could have broke her arm. Diana. Irish whip. Reversed from Ivy to the ropes. Now, oh my, spinning roundhouse kick again. Ivy knocking the daylights out of Diana. And now another Irish whip reversed this time from Diana into the corner of the Golden Generation. But Diana doesn't care. Diana's going into hot waters, into enemy territory, and she doesn't care. Those kicks to the knee. Kick to the midsection. Diana has Ivy up, but Ivy, those right hooks down to the face of Diana. And the running knee strike missing. Diana jumping neck breaker. What a sequence. And Diana going to the outside, looking at Golden Generation, going up to, oh no, going up top. Diana up top of the top turnbuckle, calling Ivy to her feet. Diana flying with the, no, went for the neck breaker, but couldn't get it all. Unfortunate for Diana. Look at this. Look at this. The Golden Generation distracting Diana from her matchup. Leave her alone. Let her fight. Let her fight. That's Levi Fox right there. Of course, Levi Fox right low. Looking to take on Hell Cerberus later on. And a Jester's Judgment once again. Diana. Irish whip reverse from Ivy again. Ivy with a choke slam to Diana, going for the cover. Diana's in trouble. Diana's in trouble. No, just a 1 count. What the fuck? Diana is insane. Talk about the Iron Woman of UWF. That could be your new name. The Iron Woman of UWF, Diana Holmes, has a little bit of a ring to it. But Diana throwing Ivy into their corner. Taryn Breeze. No, Diana not going for the tag. Looking to put more punishment into Ivy Thorne with a kick to the leg. Diana Holmes. No, Ivy rolling out of the way. And look at Ivy with the armbar is locked in. The Kimura lock from Ivy. But a rope break. The feet were under the rope. That is indeed a rope break. The Kimura lock. That is what I think Ivy Thorne did to put away Diana Holmes a few weeks back. Of course, late deep into the match, Diana Holmes would tap. I mean, it's understandable! Diana Holmes with the laughing stock for the cover! No! Very close. Diana Holmes was very close to putting this matchup away for her and Taryn Breeze. Tag team wrestling is chanted across the arena from the upstate New York crowd. And look at this! Ivy Thorne staring deep into the soul of Diana Holmes. And look at Ivy back into the corner. Just looking right into Diana. Not going for the tag though. I think Ivy could be a little upset from Carolyn Wick earlier. When Carolyn Wick took off the turnbuckle padding. And Ivy went for a pin. But the ref was too distracted with the padding to put it back on. So Ivy might be a little upset from that. It could be. I mean, it was a little miscommunication, but you gotta keep your head in the game there, Ivy. Forearm to the back from Diana. And look at Diana Holmes. Look at this. Kick to the leg. And a double foot stomp down to Ivy Thorne. Diana Holmes is on a roll. But she could use a tag. Because she's been in the match for a while. She's been... oh my, went for another roundhouse kick. But forearm connects. Turning her around. Look at this. Gotham grip. Gotham grip. Ivy's in trouble. Diana Holmes could make her tap out. Like she made Diana tap out a few weeks back. No. Ivy Thorne getting out of the Gotham grip. Diana Holmes. Irish whip. Sending Ivy. And with no DDT from Ivy. This feels personal. But Ivy taunting to the crowd, not even paying attention to her tag team partner, not even to her opponents. Taryn Breeze tagged into the match, went for a drop kick. Ivy Thorne doing this by herself, it looks like. It's a one-woman army. And she's not even tagging Carolyn Wick in. How unbelievable. You wanted this tag team match, but you're not even wanting help. You wanted this match. Ivy, you wanted a tag team partner. If you wanted a handicap match, you could have said so. Moonsault from Taryn Breeze, going for the cover. That could put it away right there. But no, Ivy Thorne staying in this matchup. It's a 1v2 basically, with some help from the Golden Generation on the outside, distracting, of course, the opponents. But it feels like a 1v2, a handicap match. And now look at this. Ivy. And look at Taryn Breeze, a cheap shot to Carolyn Wick. And now up. Bulldog connects from Ivy Thorne, picking Taryn Breeze back up to her feet. Irish whip reverse from Taryn Breeze in the corner. Taryn Breeze now, look at this. Flatliner right to the middle turnbuckle for the cover. No way, that could do it. That could be it. Knocking her out. And that's the match. Taryn Breeze on her debut, picking up the victory with Diana Holmes. What a match, what a win for these two. And Ivy Thorne, you wanted the match, but you did not tag in Carolyn Wick for the last 5-8 minutes of that match. What is going on? But what a match for these two. Diana Holmes on your right, Taryn Breeze on the left.
Thea, last week you said I need to prove myself. Good, because next week I'm doing exactly that. Open challenge. Anyone on this roster, step up. I don't care who it is. I don't care what they've done in their career. Because when I win, and trust me, I will win. There's no more questions. There's no more doubt. There's no more proving anything to anyone. I've earned my shot. And after that, I'm coming for what's rightfully mine. The Open Weight Championship.
Eddie King issuing an open challenge for next week right here in UWF. Of course, Eddie King has been told to prove himself to go for the Openweight Championship that Thea currently holds. Eddie King is looking to do exactly that. So Eddie King has issued an open challenge. Who can answer that open challenge? Who will answer it for next week? But without further ado, we have the next match in the television tournament. We have Taylor King versus Brian Renholt. And rumor has it, Brian Renholt has changed his look, his attitude, his moveset. Brian Renholt might just be a new man after putting Marcus Andrews in an ambulance a few weeks back at First Destination. Brian Renholt has changed his persona, it seems like. And it is versus Taylor King in this television tournament match. Taylor King on your screen up against Brian Renholt up next. I mean, we've seen on X, we've seen on Twitter, Brian Renholt adapting a new personality, new look, new attire, new moves in his arsenal. Brian Renholt putting a Marcus Andrews in an ambulance back in Canada, back in Marcus Andrews' hometown. Brian Renholt must feel good about that match. But it's looking good for his future in UWF. This is the television championship tournament. A.D. Harris is looking on as he has been in the arena here tonight. Of course, him along with Rylo and Levi Fox, they accompanied Carolyn Wick in her tag team match with Ivy Thorne against Taryn Breeze and Diana Holmes. That was a crazy matchup. But now, Brian Renholt on his way down to the ring in this matchup against Taylor King. Television Championship Tournament. This is round number 1, continued from last week. Of course, Kai Cash defeated Haruki Ishida last week, and Pierre Chamberlain defeated Adonis Blade to advance. So Kai Cash and Pierre Chamberlain will go against each other at some point in this tournament. But of course, Brian Renholt, new look, new attitude, new moves in his arsenal. We've seen on X that there was something coming, and we are seeing it in front of our eyes. Of course, a few weeks back at First Destination, Brian Renholt put Marcus Andrews in an ambulance, and since then we have not seen or heard from Marcus Andrews. I bet you that Brian is feeling great about that match. They went through hell and back through that match. Brian Renholt got pushed off a damn ambulance. But here we have it, Brian Renholt versus Taylor King, and that is right now. We have Taylor King and Brian Reinhold. Ring that bell. These two are off. And now, Taylor King, a TWF original, of course, back in the day, had a prominent storyline with his family. Of course, it was basically Taylor King versus his whole bloodline, I guess. And of course, just the other week, Brian Reinhold put Marcus Andrews in an ambulance, sent him packing, and since then we have not heard or seen Marcus Andrews. Of course, Marcus Andrews in his hometown of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And look at this. Clean break? No, not a clean break. Brian Reinhold has the new looks, the new moves, but same attitude. Went for the coffin drop, but missing. And the senton from Taylor King. These two, Brian Reinhold went through hell in Canada, but Taylor King has something to prove here tonight. Taylor King, what is he looking to do with Brian Reinhold? With a back body drop to Taylor King, locking back up. Is Brian Reinhold has a hold of that wrist, just yanking it, putting pressure on it. They're yanking down on that. He could definitely dislocate the arm of Taylor King. This is dangerous for Taylor King now in a hammerlock position behind the back of Taylor King. Just wrenching on it, squeezing on it. Brian Reinhold in a good position right now, but as I say that, Taylor King switching it back. This is real graps here in UWF, and Brian Reinhold getting out of it. Now off the bottom rope, spear from Brian Reinhold. Going the other direction into a spear off that bottom rope. Now on the knee of Taylor King. Looking to put pain to every ligament in Taylor King's body. Now Brian Reinhold with an Irish whip to Taylor King. Off the ropes now. And Brian Reinhold went for a punch to the midsection. But Taylor King instead has him up. Brain buster off the knee. Taylor King in control right here. A drop kick sending Reinhold back into the corner. Taylor King now going for it again. Perhaps he can do it. No, again. Reinhold, that back body drop. Waist lock applied from Reinhold. It has the hold of his head. And brainbuster off the knee. Just dropping his head on that knee. Now Reinhold up top now. The elbow connects. Now going for the cover. Brian Reinhold. 2 count. Taylor King kicks out at a 2. Brian Reinhold went through hell and back in Canada, and now he's stuck in this tournament. But if I may say so myself, that battle between Marcus Andrews every day, every week, it was going on for. I mean, Reynolds proved himself, and now look at Brian Reinhold setting Taylor King up. Look at this, Brian Reinhold standard procedure. Dropping Taylor King right on his head. Now trying to avoid the rope break. Pulling Taylor King to the middle of the ring. Going for the cover. That could do it. Spiking Taylor King on his head. No! Kick out from Taylor King. That was a desperate, much-needed kick out from Taylor King. Drop kick connects. And now, wait. That's Marcus Andrews' music. Wait a sec. Is he here? Marcus Andrews. Is he here? And that is Marcus Andrews! Wait a second, he's behind you, Taylor King! Marcus Andrews! Knee to the face! Wait a second! And Marcus Andrews is leaving. Wait, with Taylor King on the ground and Brian Reinhold, I'm probably confused. And wait, for the springboard? No, went for the right. What the fuck just happened? Marcus Andrews and Brian Reinhold every week. We're going at it. Back and forth, and now Marcus Andrews wants to help Brian Reinhold. And look at Brian Reinhold catching the foot. And Brian Reinhold put Marcus Andrews through an ambulance numerous weeks back. I mean, what? Why did Marcus Andrews help out Brian Reinhold? That face plant by, I'm confused just as you are. I'm baffled why Marcus Andrews would help out his enemy, Brian Reinhold. But I don't know. I guess we'll hopefully get some answers. I mean, I guess we got the answers on how Marcus Andrews was doing, because he was put in an ambulance a few weeks back, and look at Brian Reynolds headbutt down to Taylor. We still have a tournament to announce. We still have this match to commentate, and look at Reynolds a few steps back in a running full speed drive-by from Brian Reynolds. Now for the cover, Taylor King's in trouble to advance in the tournament with help from Marcus Andrews. What a match. Brian Reynolds will go versus Satoshi Kasamatsu at some point in time in this tournament. What a match and what a win, I suppose, for Brian Reynolds.
Are you serious right now? What are you even doing here? I put you in an ambulance. I put you through hell at First Destination. I made you bruised, battered, and bloody. And you decide to help me? During my qualifying matches? I don't need your help. I don't want your help. As a matter of fact, do me a favor. Stay the fuck away from me. This is my opportunity at the UWF Television Championship, and I don't need some fool like Marcus Andrews ruining my moment. So do me a favor. Stay the fuck back and get out of my sight.
In a world of competition,
Yeah, I'm shooting it. Play for the kills. He's flashing. He's flashing.
built in fire, forged in competition. Different arena, same fire. Support Team Inferno. Use code REMY at 10% off at teaminferno.gg at checkout. I mean, Brian Reynolds is as confused as we are, but we still have a pre-main event. We have the debut of Millie Richards, or Martina Richards, and Millie, Martina, whatever you want to call her, is here at UWF. What a debut this is going to be. And talk about a dream match. Going up against Yuri Stevens here today in our pre-main event. I mean, we've gotten Taryn Breeze. Now we got Millie Richards. What are we talking about? This is insane. I mean, Millie Richards, Taryn Breeze. That is a dream match of his own. Maybe we can get it in UWF here soon. Who knows? But Millie Richards having to go up against Yuri Stevens as of late. Yuri Stevens has been... I guess earlier we heard about what she said a few weeks back. I mean, Yuri is not right in the head, it seems like. But, of course, Millie versus Yuri fucking Stevens. Of course, Yuri Stevens a few weeks back returned here in UWF, or I guess debuted in UWF, in a 5-women's gauntlet match, which made it a 6-women's gauntlet match, and won by defeating Cameron Blade. Went to Canada and went up against Micah Mori-Monet for the Women's World Championship, but she was unsuccessful. Micah Mori-Monet still your UWF Women's World Champion. Rightfully so. Micah Mori-Monet has been holding that title as long as she won it about over a month back. Micah Mori-Monet is a great champion we have here in UWF. But Yuri Stevens looking to get back on that pedestal, looking to get back in that conversation of going up for the World Championship. We have Millie Richards getting ready for this contest, and we have Yuri Stevens making her way down the ramp. And Yuri Stevens looking, what is she? Looking to get out of here, but wait a second, that's Cameron Blade behind you! And Cameron Blade, Yuri Stevens was looking to get out of the arena, but Cameron Blade throwing Yuri back in the ring. I mean, if you don't remember from last week, Yuri Stevens took out May and Cameron after their matchup. For whatever reason, is going through Yuri's head recently. No, but Yuri was looking to leave the arena before getting in the matchup with Millie, and Yuri, not so lucky, but Yuri is bringing it all. Although she was thrown into the ring, she still... Oh my god, what a chop from Millie! Out of nowhere, and Yuri... This is a scheduled matchup, so if you were to walk out of the arena today, you could possibly get suspended, fired, or, you know, it's a job. You know, it's not, you can't just show up and not work. You have to show up and put in your work, Yuri. You know this. Trust me, Yuri knows this. And look at Millie bringing the fight on her debut to Yuri Stevens. Look at these chops. Looking like Tongaloa. It's a little better if I may say so myself. But look at Millie Richards standing over Yuri Stevens, and Yuri making her way to the apron, struggling to her feet. Yuri didn't look ready to be in this match. She was looking to leave before the bell could even ring. But Cameron Blade was there to throw her back in this. Thanks to Cameron Blade, Millie still got a debut here to be in, but she has to kick out of that one. And there she does at 1. Look at Millie now pushing Yuri. No, Yuri! The kick to the midsection. Now these combinations, that right hook, and now the moonsault off that middle rope. Yuri Stevens is unbelievable. The phenomenal Yuri Stevens versus the 1 in a million, Millie Richards. Now Irish whip reverse, the running elbow from Millie Martina. Millie Richards now working on the arm of Yuri. You're working on the hand of Yuri. Millie. Definitely dream match I would love in UWF, and we're getting it here today. Oh my god, Yuri, recently Yuri's been, after losing at First Destination, Yuri's been kind of all over the place. Of course, attacking May and Cameron last week. Well, I don't know what is going through Yuri's head. Yuri's always been on the right side of a superstar. Now she's kind of going to the dark side, it looks like. Going to being a heel, I guess you can say. Let's break the fourth wall, I guess. And then look at Yuri with oh my god, a forearm knocking Millie right out. Going to the corner now. Look at Yuri Stevens. Oh no, we know what this is. Yuri Stevens with the feet down to the back of the head. The stomp. Could do it. No. Millie kicking out at a 2. Yuri Stevens. And look at Millie with the Pele kick. Millie going off that springboard. Bottom rope moonsault. Going for the cover. Could do it there. No, just a 1 count. Yuri. The tenacity of Yuri. And look at Millie. The money counter. Look at Millie Richards. Yuri's got to watch out. Watch out. GTR for the cover. No. That GTR powerbomb from Millie. But Yuri struggling to her feet there in the corner. Yuri needs a lifeline. And look at Millie fighting back. Millie is absolutely performing in this one. Michinoku driver from Millie Richards. Looking impressive here today. And look at Millie going for another GTR perhaps, but arm drag from Yuri. Now caught the foot. Millie is 1 step ahead every step of the way with Yuri, it looks like. Now dragging her all the way to the other side of the ring with that snake eyes on that top turnbuckle. Look at Millie, full speed ahead. And the drop, no, I was going to say a drop kick, but instead Millie, some innovative offense there with Yuri Stevens right where she wants her. Millie Richards going for the moonsault, drop kick, connects right on target for Millie there. And Yuri is not in a good way right now. Yuri Stevens needs to fight back. And look at Millie, the cartwheel knees, no. Yuri moving out of the way, drop kick connects. Yuri Stevens has Millie right where she wants her. And look at Yuri, the reckoning from Yuri Stevens. The last call. Millie's in trouble. No. Yuri's frustrated. Yuri is livid. But look at Millie Richards, another GTR for the cover. Yuri's in trouble. And Millie picks up the win on her debut over Yuri Stevens. What a win and what a match for Millie Richards. Welcome to UWF. What a battle between Yuri and Millie. I mean, Yuri didn't even want to fight, but Cameron Blade out of nowhere said, no, you're in this match now. And Millie with the win on her debut. And now for our main event, we have the Tag Team Championship Tournament. And up first, we have Hell's Cerberus in the middle, Nathan Hammerstone on the left. I'm sure that is Brutus Creed. On the right is Julius Creed. This is the Creed brothers, aka this is Hell's Cerberus. I mean, this match, Hell's Cerberus, or we have the Golden Generation. We have, of course, Rilo, Levi Fox. Whoever wins this will go on to face the Diamond Wolves at some point. And then whoever wins that match will go versus the Kingdom for the UWF Tag Team Championships. Of course, the Diamond Wolves, they want to face this team. Of course, the Diamond Wolves, the Hell Cerberus. I mean, it makes sense. The Wolves versus the Wolves. I mean, who knows? Maybe the Golden Generation will put out an upset. Maybe they'll win this match. I mean, we'll see. But Hell Cerberus getting ready versus this team right here, the Golden Generation. We've seen the Golden Generation a few times tonight. Of course, on the left right there, Rilo. On the far right, Levi Fox. In the middle, the leader of the Golden Generation, the television champion, A.D. Harris. A.D. Harris is also watching a tournament of his own, the television championship tournament. It's crazy. There's 2 tournaments going on right now here in UWF. Television Championship and the Tag Team Championships. The Golden Generation been busy as of late. A.D. Harris been watching 2 tournaments at once, it seems like. The Golden Generation, though, they've been pretty unbelievable as of late. Of course, Rilo, Levi Fox been doing their thing. A.D. Harris been doing his thing. Hell Cerberus, of course. Brutus and Julius, along with Nathan Hammerstone, who just got out of a little feud with Tiger Brown over in Canada after a crazy unsanctioned match. That was insane. You can go back and watch it right here on YouTube at Upstate Remy. Feel free to go back and watch it. It was a banger of a match, banger of a show, nonetheless. We're starting things off with Julius Creed and Levi Fox. Here we go. Whoever wins this will go versus the Diamond Wolves. Probably next week. Most likely next week. Then whoever wins that match will go versus the Kingdom at the next Premium Live event. Or before the Premium Live event. It could be either one. But here we go. The Creed brothers in tandem. Working together as a unit like they have been for years and years. But Levi Fox not going to go down without a fight. Hanging Brutus up on that middle rope now. And now look at Levi Fox choking the life out of... The ref needs to get in the way, but honestly, I'm going to be honest. Levi Fox was in a crazy hardcore title match. You don't want to get in the way of Levi Fox. Levi Fox and Rilo been making a name for themselves as of late in other E-Feds, of course. But of course... in UWF, and look at Julius with a cheap shot to Levi Fox. The catcher in the rye is what they like to be called. Little drop toe hold from Levi right there. Brutus Creed, the bulldog of the Creed brothers, Diamond Mine, of course, without Ivy Nile by their side. Waistlock applied from Brutus, and a headbutt to the back of the head, back of the neck of Levi. Brutus tagged to Julius. Look at the new gear, by the way, for the new gear for the Creed brothers, the Hell Cerberus faction, and what a kick from Levi Fox. Julius, snapmare from Levi, and a drop. No, moving out of the way is Julius Creed. Now those combos taking down Levi. This main event here tonight in UWF. Hope you all have been enjoying the show so far. Of course, in the next few weeks, hopefully next week, we'll get a little announcement for our next Premium Live event here in UWF. Our second ever. Hopefully in the next few weeks, maybe next week, this week. Who knows? We're working things out. Look at Levi Fox. Irish whip to Julius now. And down he goes. What a move from Levi Fox. Innovative offense from Levi. Going for the cover. Quick and easy. No. Just a 1 count. Julius Creed kicking out of that one, and just tossing Julius Creed, no effort. Tag to Rilo. Picking Julius back up to his feet. And back in the corner, but Levi with a cheap shot. I think Rai tried to go for a tag, but Levi had some other plans in mind. Back in the corner, though. And they went for a tag again to Levi, but couldn't get it. And the roll-up from Julius. Just a 1 count. No, sorry, 2 count. The ref put up a 2. And the kick to the midsection. And the combos from Rilo with a kick to the back of the head. And now, a big clothesline off that layer, or off the springboard. Now waist lock from Rai, but Julius elbow up and missing that double axe handle could be a big mistake. Rilo taking advantage. And now running the ropes now. Another lariat off those ropes there. Rilo is impressive. The standing moonsault. No. Rolling out of the way. Julius Creed. The ring awareness, but Rilo fighting back. One step ahead of his opponent. Back in the corner. Tag to Levi Fox. Connects right there. Now look at Rilo. Looking like a backbreaker elbow combination. Levi Fox now in the match. Julius Creed desperately. And look at Nathan Hammerstone distracting Levi Fox. Nathan Hammerstone at ringside for his team, and so is AD Harris. And look at Julius Creed crawling with a hot tag to Brutus. And now Brutus caught him. Waist lock. But Levi Fox, waist lock for himself back in the corner. That distraction from Nathan Hammerstone didn't do much. But look at the catcher and the Rai working together. That big back body drop. Rilo in the corner. Look at Rilo. Look at this. The super kick. No. And just tossing Rilo. Brutus Creed with some brute strength has Rilo up in a powerbomb position. Jesus Christ. What a powerbomb from Brutus, but Rilo. Brutus, no, Rilo caught him with those combos now. The knee strike and the drop kick connects. And Brutus with the tag to his brother. And look at Nathan Hamilton trying to get involved again. And Julius Creed. And just tossing Rilo back in the ring. Not trying to go outside the ring. Might be smart for the Creed brothers. Now has Rilo up and has him in a vertical suplex position. And down he goes. And look at Rilo fired up. But belly to belly overhead suplex from Julius Creed. Rilo tried to get some. Look at AD Harris. Look at AD Harris. And look at Rilo. Those combos. The kick to the back of the head. Has him up. But Julius, reversal. Reverse DDT. AD Harris trying to get involved. As Nathan Hammerstone was as well. I mean, gotta match the energy, I suppose. And look at Julius. No, this time, Rilo getting out of it with a chop to the back of the knee. Rilo. Kick to the midsection. Has Julius in a powerbomb position. Gotta match that energy. In the corner now. Up on the middle rope, middle turnbuckle. Rilo calling Julius to his feet. Rilo. Moonsault. DDT. From Rilo. Now in the corner. Oh no. Rilo in the corner. Wait a second. Drop kick. Sending Julius down. The vintage low. And the double foot stomp. For the cover. He calls that the chicken fried rye. Now going back up top for another chicken fried rye to advance in the tournament. And they do. What a win. What a match. The catcher and the rye, they advance in this tag team tournament. They will go versus the Diamond Wolves, Diamante, and Jason Payne. Possibly next week or at some point in this tournament. And there they are. Jason Payne, Diamante are here giving respect where it's due. But they will see each other at some point in the near future. What a match. What a show. I'll see y'all next week.